said they were going to colonize.
In 1800,
they literally wrote in New York Times that they were going to colonize.
Hold on. Just so I don't fuck up this quote. That line and said exactly.
Yeah, I know the quote.
Okay, so so you know the quote, so I don't have to say it. Now, what civilization?
It's not my first rodeo with Israelis in a room.
Okay, so what civilization are you referring to? There was quote desolate land.
Yes, that's like so. If I go to Nevada, to BLM land,
Simon, civilization doesn't require wonderful, lush environments. It's a group of people living together. They have a common sense of
civilized. I mean, civilization, I think the word sounds like being civilized. And it seems like if they really cared about their civilization,
yeah, no, you're trying to bring
the hostages.
You're trying to bring people
Daniel, it's backwards.
I know. I know. I'm kind of trying to make a point.
You made fun of cheek guy and stuff.
If they really cared about their civilization, I'm sure that they would release those hostages, but I guess they expected all the hostages. So I'm not sure why Diego is crying when the Palestinians are fine with this. At any moment in the last 15 months, they could have stopped it. Obviously, they make their decision. Don't patronize them and don't make their decision for them, Diego.
See, Simon, how he collectivizes the Palestinians?
Right. Well, I mean, hold on. You're the one that's mixed the concept.
What does that even mean?
Hold on. You said. Hold on. You have collectivized the Palestinians as well by saying that it's Palestinian land. There's no, and you know very damn well you know that. Oh, okay, so then you have it.
Are rolling in their graves. The fathers of praxeology and economics are rolling in their graves.
He was locked out of his house.
This is what he says. This is the story that he tells. Do you know the name? Do you know the name of this family? Can you give me their name? So we can, so this family, can we have their name? Maybe we can talk to them. Maybe we can. I heard the story, but I don't know.
During the hood. During the hood AI committee. Oh, that's genius. That's hilarious.
He's not even born yet.
Maybe the voters would understand.
He said after World War II,
it's a story. It's a story.
100 people at his house. The guy's 76 years old.
Yeah, his parents.
During the hood, no good. During the hood, that's hilarious. Maybe the voters would understand.
I don't know. My wild guess is their last name is Hadid.
Good guess. No, they're talking about the Jewish family, I think, that locked them out. I think he's asking.
Terry taking place.
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking for, yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure they know where their house is. They said it's in, where the Baha'i church.
I understand. I told the story. Can you tell me a bit about this family? How many people? Like, what did the father do? Like, something about this? Or just a story that we just are supposed to believe? Because he said it. I mean, do you have any, critical thinking? Like, really, if it's really true, let's not just... Yeah, I want you to give me the name of the family. Maybe we can clarify this story.
You mean I don't, investigate stories to see if they're true? Can't he just, repeat the plot like with movies?
I think
how do you know this is true?
This goes way beyond, the concrete, Diego, again, I'm challenging Diego's understanding of civilization versus...
Yeah, Diego. Understand civilization. Come on, man.
Yeah, because you can't be pro-civilization. I'm sorry. Diego.
Just understand yourself, Diego. Just know that you are actually a clown, a fool. I mean, a schmuck.
The Palestinians against them?
No. If you vote in for...
So how about
representatives? I'm calling representatives of who these people voted for primitive barbarians.
Yeah, so they act as if they were primitive barbarians because the type of values that they aspire to have are very consistent with the people who value life. That's what we consider barbaric.
Okay, great. So will you agree that there are Jews that also don't value life and are also active barbaric?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so then let's. How about we both disavow those people? Let's
Yes,
disavow
I
the
disavow
barbaric people.
anybody. I
The
disavow all
difference is in the degree.
barbaric.
The difference in the degree. You have a small portion ostracized by the Jewish society who are batshit crazy and want to kill all the Arabs. And then you have majority of Palestinian parts.
Those people are getting funding and training.
Yeah, so I think what you want to say is not the degree, it's the barbaric. Obviously, the most barbaric acts are done by
No, it's
Israelis.
the disavowal is not just declaring these guys aren't us.
No,
We're actually trying to stop them. The Jews arrest their criminals.
Diego, have you seen a war? Have you seen a war where these acts have not occurred? Like, you want there to be zero deaths by civilians? Like, which war fits your definition that it would not be?
Don't you know Diego has a huge library in his house and reads books every day?
Yeah, but which war would be your model war that did not have?
Don't you know Diego has a huge library in his house?
what and well, a war is a war, right? I mean,
Right, but now you're saying that this is so extreme and so crazy and so inhumane and blah 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 blah. Okay, I get that.
right,
Fine.
right.
Okay, so which war is the model war that we should say, okay, Israeli generals,
I think the question
follow
is
your
wrong.
behavior after this war?
Let me give you an example.
Yeah, please.
So when JFK was pressuring Ben Gurion to show him the nukes, right? They went ahead and assassinated JFK.
Going off
and
the
they-
question. Which war?
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Give a name of a war.
Say war. Oh, so you need it to be what, like an officially declared war? Is that what?
No. For example, last time the U.S. declared war was World War II. So, but we'll include any involvement. I'll take a
Don't you know?
I say the war to
Nice, stupid guy.
Korea.
Philippines,
Give me
Korea,
a war.
the 100 Years War, the 30 Years War, the
Yes,
70
give me a
Years
war.
War.
Pick one. There's been so many in
It's a
history.
fucking war.
Okay, by the way,
And by the way, how many civilians died in this war compared to Americans?
No, let's start with the first question. Pick a war.
Napoleonic Wars.
Okay, great. Let's look at the casualties.
Oh my God, that's
I guarantee you there's very few civilians.
Oh, yeah.
How many were
ratio. You need to look at
That's the terror.
Are you fucking kidding me just now?
how many were in this war?
Well, dude, I mean, Andre, they fought on a battlefield, didn't they?
Wait a second, Danielle. Wait a second. I said, why you guys bullying Diego for no reason now? You're supposed to be like, I'm the most. But
I don't think Diego is being bullied.
No, you.
Achik, have you never been to a Diego roast? We do this all the time with stupid people on the set.
Search. Very quick search. Between 3.5 and 6 million civilian deaths during Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah, compared to how many military dead. It's the ratio that matters.
5 to 1.
I want to know the numbers.
So we have in this Palestinian war, we have what, like 400, 500,000 Palestinians dead?
No.
I thought it was more like 3 million.
According to Trump,
I think it was at least like 4 million. Yes.
I guess
According to maybe it's my boy.
according to Trump, there's 1.9 million left.
looking at the amount of people dying is a horrible metric. Like, that's not the point. Like, I doubt.
Well, that's Diego's point.
Well, no, it's a garbage point again.
I agree, but he's using it and saying that's how bad Israel is by measuring the number of people.
Yeah, no, that's just whitewashing war.
I
Yeah,
agree.
How many? But how many?
You don't even have bullshit sources, Diego, because it's at least 11 million Gazans who have died.
There's
No,
not
how
even
many
that many.
civilians can I?
I heard it was 25 million who died.
That's
You want to hear that? It's greater than the population.
38 or something. I heard last time.
I think it might have been 38. Simon just said 38. Daniel, did you hear 38?
Daniel.
38 million.
38 million.
That's greater than the combined population of Jordan, Israel.
Yaakov, I'm being sarcastic. God, don't make me ruin it. You're making me ruin it.
When he's complaining, what numbers are you talking about? I don't understand.
Yaakov, I'm outside your window looking in.
The Holocaust in Gaza.
Don't do that to me, Zach. You sound like Diego.
So Diego, do you think there'll ever be in a time in your life where you let the J word go from your, minute to minute conscious streaming of life? Like, are you ever just in the now, in the all, and this is what's important, and you're no longer just talking about J words all the time? Like, are you ever gonna just let it go? That's what I want to know.
Jump, drive, and jam.
If you were to dismantle, I think probably it'll be less
Yeah.
topic.
What was dismantled?
Do you have the numbers?
Repeat that. What's dismantled?
The state of Israel is dismantled.
Is that your goal? Do you think that would cure every problem?
Yeah, then he'd feel better.
No, I just think it would be less of a
Then
topic.
his friends would like him.
Be less of a
If
what?
that would be the end of Jewish hegemony.
Do you think that's the Catholic way?
Jewish hegemony.
That's right.
Do you know the definition of hegemony?
It's not a logical way. It's not gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Jewish hegemony.
See Israel make it to its 100th anniversary, and then we can say whether it's going to happen.
Even if it was gonna happen.
So you mean to tell me that your brain is hardwired to the state of Israel? That's fucking amazing.
So you're saying, Diego, you're saying that you're going to feel like uncomfortable till about 2048?
Honestly, I don't think it would make it 24.
It's illogical for another direction as
Can
well.
we put in our calendar a reminder to have a room in 2048?
Yeah, 2048. Well,
Diego,
Today's date in 2048.
This is very funny bit.
Timeline, right?
This is a funny bit. But the point is, it's illogical for another reason as well. Not only if you don't want to talk about whether it's going to happen or not, let's just think about game theory, right? If you've got two sides and you make it clear to me you're never going to play fair, you're never going to give up, and you're going to keep biting my ankles until one of us is dead, then how could I ever adopt an alternate position? I have to adopt the same position. Otherwise, the only other position for me to adopt is I have this troll who bites my ankles. And
It's not even adaptation to the same position. It is a coherent response to what you get as an external reaction. So
Diego is projecting the destruction of Israel for his own reverse engineered lack of personal self-integration or awareness.
Palestinians and the Arab world have unlimited objective on the Jewish state, meaning it will not stop until it's completely decimated. It's done with. Right?
Check the chat, Diego.
It's the same thing as what Hitler had during World War II. He had unlimited objective. He wanted complete, dismantlement of the world order and a reinstallment of a new world order. That's what they're looking for.
I agree with you, Andre. Are you Croatian, by the way?
No, I'm Ukrainian.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Diego, you don't agree at all with what I wrote in the chat?
Just really quickly, but to compare, the limited objective would be like, we want some concessions from you.
Listen, Andre, your country's no longer at the negotiation table. How do you feel about that?
Whatever.
That's what's going to happen with Israel. It's going to be different.
We Americans reject the 51st state of Ukraine.
Ukraine is losing their land without their authorization.
We want some concessions from you.
Andre's in the middle of the song.
We want to live in peace, and we want to have some sort of, consensus of how we're going to go forward. You can stay in power, we're going to stay in power, but we're going to have some concessions made. That's a limited objective. This is not what Palestinians want. This is not what Hitler wanted. This is a completely different environment. So Jews need to adapt to it. And and they need to change their attitude towards Palestinians in the Arab world. That's all.
Okay, Yaakov has a question for Diego.
In the Diego world order, what's going to take the place? You say you want this dismantled. So what's going to happen to all the Jewish people there?
Back to Europe.
Well, back to where they got exterminated. They don't really want to go back there. So where
They're not
We're
going to
going
get
to
exterminated.
move 7 million people.
Also, these people were born there. They
They might get New Mexico. They wanted that originally, right?
Diego, I hope you know that like you are capable of actually doing the same routine but with a different category or topic. I mean, this is why I actually worry about you. Like if you really just spend all your time doing J-word deconstruction, where do you actually start building yourself as a real man? I mean, are you afraid of your future? Is that what's really happening here?
Well, no, let's
A Catholic and an Orthodox Christian are deciding the fate of a Jewish-run state in Europe. Okay?
Oh, Ukraine.
Without his authorization. Yeah, and I believe the same will occur in the Middle East.
Whoa.
Catholics and Orthodox Christians will make the decision on behalf of the Israel state as to.
Listen, don't go into any lobbies in New York City anymore, Diego. Don't go into lobbies anymore, man. I'm worried about you, bro.
A Catholic?
Yeah, who's the Catholic in that equation?
Trump is a Catholic. Trump's into a cabinet is Catholic.
He's Protestant.
This is a far out apocalyptic vision. I think you need to write a new book and put it at the end of Revelation or something.
all this is stupid, low IQ, dumb people talking about nothing, wasting time.
It really is. It truly is. The most amazing thing, though, is to witness it and to actually believe that Diego really believes what he believes. It's very far out. I mean, you're like permanently on LSD, Diego.
Ukraine is being dismantled as we speak.
As we speak right now, it's being dismantled?
He's a Presbyterian, probably from his mother, who's Scottish.
I mean, you've been to Israel, Diego. It's a fucking It's not going anywhere. What in the world are you actually Are you fucking hypnotized or delusional?
I'm not saying it's going to be destroyed. I'm just simply saying that the Zionists won't control it more.
They're not going to control it. It's a country of Jews. Zionists are Jews.
Realistic. I think this is why the conversations go in circles.
It's like Wally World with Diego. So who's going to control it?
The Palestinians are going to control it, Yaakov. Obviously.
No, I don't think the
Your name is not Diego.
I understand this.
Okay, but let's hear the first party, not the second party.
I guess you could say, in a sense, the Palestinians will control it. It will call Jordan a Palestinian state.
And will Jews be dhimmis in this society, or full equal rights? They'll be able to practice their religion equally.
I do think they'll be able to practice a religion. I don't think it's the
So wait a minute. Do you think that if the Palestinians control Israel, the Jews will be legally allowed to practice their religion, and we didn't hear about the tax or
That is
not.
exactly what he can say with a straight face.
But are you saying that the terrorism then would stop? That the random stabbings and the
I mean, the terrorism only started because more Jews moved into the area.
Right?
If you look at the
Right. But you just contradicted yourself because you're saying that you're implying that the terrorism would stop if the Palestinians controlled it. What you're implying is that the Palestinians could control it and the Jews could stay, but then you contradict yourself 3 seconds later by saying the terrorism was in response to more Jews coming to the area. So, my
No. I'm saying the Jews did the terrorism. If you look at history, the bombing of the King David Hotel.
Do you know what the difference is, Diego? The Jews actually bombed military targets. Actually, it's against international human rights law to go after civilian targets. You're supposed to only everyone has the right to resist according to the UN Charter. Hold on, listen. Everyone has the right to resist, but you have to resist A, in uniform, B, by targeting military installations. You cannot target civilians. So every missile that's sent out of Gaza is a violation of law. Because it's random. It's not targeted at any military.
And deploying your MK Ultra dopamine love affairs to New York City like rockets is maybe also against the law, Diego.
It's a sex crime in New York.
You're trying to essentially activate MK Ultra Clubhouse deep state assassins amongst the Jewish community, Diego. Be careful with what you're doing. Words can be more dangerous than the sword, Don Diego.
Yakov, I'm driving, but I don't think it would be productive anyway to share my sources with you. But I'm just going to tell you my position. My position is that Israeli military records show that civilians were targeted routinely and systematically during the creation of the state of Israel.
Of course.
And before. And it's in the records.
Don't launch any more rockets at New York, Don Diego. All communication is hypnosis.
Rashid Khalid and what's his name? Benny Morris and the new historians of that wave of Israel history, where they did revisionism on it, and they got access to the military records.
Isn't it time you use Head and Shoulders again to get out from underneath that dandruff problem, Don Diego?
Laws against that were put into place in 1949 and onwards.
Now, going to solving the problem of Israel's enemies, I liked it more when you guys used to do things like honey pot the Nunu, and drug him and bring him back to Israel and try him. Right. I like that was the old Israel, when you guys were more modest about how you would get rid of enemies.
How did the governor of New Hampshire get?
No, not Sununu. What's his name? The guy that in 1983.
Oh, you lost. You dropped out.
Yeah. He told him of the Israeli.
We can't hear you, Don Diego.
Yeah.
I can't hear. Does anyone hear?
You're like a talking history book, Diego. It's truly remarkable.
Talking
Do you guys recall the
Listen, one of these days, Diego, we pray that you'll get out from underneath that dandruff problem and you'll use Head and Shoulders every day. And I want to let you all know, we sent a bottle of Head and Shoulders to Nora at Rikers, and she says it's working miracles for her dandruff problem.
That's projection. And if you've ever seen people that dress in black, he's bald.
He doesn't have hair. Like, where?
Right.
No, that's a picture of them in his PTR.
Where? Did somebody remove him? Oh no. This was
Diego. I thought that was his picture.
Oh no.
Yeah, everyone takes a picture, but it's some famous actor named Diego de something. I don't know.
De La Vega.
I just want to put people to Francesca's PPR in the.
Yeah, I saw it. I said good morning to her. Didn't you?
Right.
I blame Abby.
Right.
Lawyer Abby or
No, not Blair Abby. No.
Smart Abby.
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
let's
called
make
her
sure we.
the girl that doesn't sleep, but I don't know who came up with that, but someone.
Oh, you mean yeah? She's on the app.
See, Diego, you're like the kind of schmuck who cooks Thanksgiving dinner every single night of the week. And it's just remarkable that you're like a one-track record. I mean, do you actually spend your life thinking and talking this way outside of this fucking bullshit low IQ dumb people talking about nothing app?
No, I don't think it is a rhetorical question. I think that there's something really fundamental that the pro-Palestinian people are missing, which is that there's an opportunity for us to progress here into the modern world. We have language translating apps, we have technology, we have modern medicine and all that, and I think that it's time to.
So you're saying progress, don't progress.
Yes, I'm saying that the Palestinians, I'm saying that they have to make room for the Jews in the Middle East,
Right?
The Jews are a Middle Eastern people too. The
Right.
Jews, the history of the Jews is tied to the land
Not
of Israel.
genetic though, right? We're agreeing on that.
Yes, genetically. That's why I have olive skin. Why do you think I have? Why do I have green skin? Why is my
Your
skin
people
green?
lived in Spain.
Diego, can you repeat your last sentence? Jews are what?
He says Jews are not ethnically Jews. Jews are not ethnically Middle
Let's talk,
Eastern.
let's talk about that whole
He says
DNA.
Ashkenazi. They're all.
Are we
You're
all?
not Jewish, Yaakov, because you're Ashkenazi, because they're all
That's
Jewish.
Sephardic.
He's not Jewish.
We're all Africans, guys. We're all from Africa.
Yeah, what about that?
I'm not saying he's not Middle Eastern.
What about that, though? What about the fact that we're all from Africa, and I don't know any of you guys, but I talk with you all every day, and you have a better sense of my personality than some people in my offline life. And yet there are people, I talked with somebody the other day, I forget who it was, John was there, when I asked him, Danny was there too, remember? I asked that guy, if you could kill me, and this is a question you ask people on Clubhouse, if you get them alone, ask people on Clubhouse, hey, they said, if you could kill me privately, and nobody would ever find out, and you would never get in trouble, would you kill me? No, he doesn't say. But I asked somebody the other day, he was like a black guy, he was like, yeah, probably. It's like,
You went from like probably to definitely.
he's like, yeah, I'd kill you, yeah, I'd love it too, you little white
You
bitch.
asked me, I'm like, no, I couldn't. Like, why?
So I gotta bring it up. I mean, Diego, like, you know, Simon said technically you're an anarchist, and that's the fundamental reason why you're so retarded. And so I guess the point is, I mean, you know, either you're on the side of the law or you're trying to break the law. I mean, what is the problem with October 7th being such a horrific violation of law that these are the repercussions? And now we have two systems of law. We have military law and we have, you know, judicial law or whatever the fucking common law is. The point is, what is it about the law? I know you're a self-taught economist, a praxeologist, and a former paralegal. So what is it about the law that you have a hard time understanding?
I don't think that hostages breaking out of a prison cell can be held against them in a legal fashion.
Manipulation of reality.
He's saying what Donald Trump said, when I'm saving my nation, I'm not violating the law.
So the prisoners, so this is what he's saying, Yaakov. Gaza is a prison, and everybody in Gaza is a prisoner. And Israel is the warden, and everybody in Israel in some way contributes to the wardening of their neighbors, the Gazans.
Is that even a verb? Wow.
I could put it better myself.
Okay, he can put it better.
The proof is his taste in woman.
I'm sorry, I couldn't put it better.
Oh, you couldn't put it right. So that, but then the justification is, I mean, many people on Clubhouse have said this to me, that the Israeli civilians, I mean, what's her name? Eze Yofi. I see her in Amir's room. You know her? Eze Yofi. Yeah, so she said, until the Palestinians have peace, no Israeli civilian deserves safety. The logic there is that the Israeli civilians are contributing to the imprisonment of the Gazans by participating in Israeli society. And
I don't know about the civilians, but most civilians are under the age of 18, right? Everyone else.
Diego, would you agree that a truly moral Israeli, Diego, would you agree a truly moral Israeli would move away from Israel and denounce their Israeli citizenship because they don't want to contribute to the oppression of Palestinians? Would you agree with that?
No, there's plenty of Israelis that are against the Netanyahu regime and are protesting, and they live in their apartment complexes, and they do like.
But Diego, many of the people who were killed on October 7th were exactly those peaceniks that you were referring to. People who had spent
The
their
ones that were
lives.
mocking the Palestinians outside the
Don't interrupt me. If they interrupt me, I'll have to use the black mic. So my point is that people who were killed on October 7th had defended. Issa knows what the black mic is. So the point is that on October 7th, the point is that on October. Oh, thank you. That's what Yaakov said. What Yaakov said.
They employ Palestinians from Gaza.
And they spent time driving them to the hospital and working for Magen David and whatever, you know?
Yeah, they were by far the most leftist group in Israel. They wanted peace. They wanted to employ. They wanted to live side by
But
side.
it didn't save them.
That's not what I recall.
If anything,
Even people on clubhouse.
Well, what do you recall? What do you
I
say, Diego?
I recall, Kobe or whatever his name is, talking about wanting to kill Palestinians and wanting to kill me, to be frank.
Well, that's a crazy person.
Because you're
He treated me like one.
But then how do you crazy person on here?
Is he a basketball player? Who's Kobe?
Diego, you gotta question your own judgment. You flew out Nora to New York. You got catfished.
Did you know what you were getting yourself
Of
into?
course he saw pictures
Try
of
to be a
her.
gentleman. Try to be a
Of
gentleman.
course he saw pictures of her. She sent notes to the guys that she likes.
How come nobody has club yet?
Let's try to
Diego
not
has not
criticize
seen the
women on their
first
looks.
one. Diego has not seen the first one. Sorry to say that, Diego.
Sorry, Diego.
Diego, how do you manage your family contributing so much time to the Free Palestinian movement? I'm just so amazed. How do you manage to actually do anything when you're talking about J words all the time?
I mean, how are you going to get paid? You guys got to earn a living.
Right.
What do you actually do for a living?
I think he's a lawnmower.
Defend Palestinian.
You get money doing that.
You make money.
It's a serious question. What do you do?
He's a lawnmower.
No, that's what you guys do. You guys both move on.
I thought you are actually a professional landscaper. Silence is yes. Silence is yes. On a clubhouse
Teacher.
Listen, Yaakov, are you gay?
Am I gay?
Are you gay?
In which term? Happy or take?
Are you a
it in the rear?
homosexual? Do you like to take it in the rear?
No.
Okay, silence is yes. Okay, Diego, are you a landscaper?
Well, he does drive an old
Look,
jalopy.
I would never.
Yaakov, if you could kill me, given the chance that nobody would ever punish you, nobody would ever find out, would you kill me?
Most of the time, the answer would be no. Most of the time, the answer would be no. Occasionally, yes. But no, in general, the answer
Silence is yes.
No, I was just trying to formulate a good joke.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
I thought it was funny.
Most of my jokes aren't. So.
I think it's funnier sometimes when some people don't try to be funny.
Yeah, thank you, Danny.
See, Diego, when I thought you were just a praxeologist and not like a crazy anti-Semitic Jew hater, I mean, I'm just surprised. I'm just amazed. Well, everybody knows you do something, or you have some savings, or your parents are paying your bills.
I'm literally just a mirror image of John Kitover.
Really?
I do the same thing, except I do it for the good guys.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
So you really believe that you believe Hamas is a liberation and a virtuous military non-terrorism organization, right?
Chaser, like which portion of the law?
He's an NPC like Soren. They never go off track. It's a one-track mind. You're not going to get a real answer from Diego. It doesn't matter.
I've given up.
I've seen his car. It's not that impressive, and I'm still not impressed.
Right.
Oh, that's a sense for Thank you.
Sure.
I thought it was something you could buy, like you could buy art online.
I thought it meant non-player character.
The point is, stop shooting rockets into New York City, Diego.
Right.
Ouch.
New Yorkers don't like it.
Is it all because someone crossed an imaginary fish line, an arrow, and then
You got catfish, dog. We've been there, we've done that, Diego. We understand. But I just don't understand. Can't you get a local? Like, why would you have to do it with, a catfish from Clown House?
Right.
Ouch.
Right. So, Zach, did we reach any catharsis here? I mean, we didn't really talk about my
How do you
upbringing.
reach catharsis? You reach
Israel. Israel.
Did you guys understand my point about the modern age and how we have an opportunity as humans to come together?
I wasn't here then.
Like, if you weren't raised to think of yourself as a victim, then how would you explain my frustration when you visited Israel?
I think that I have been sent by God to Earth for a unique reason.
Oh, okay, that's grandiose.
Whoa.
I think that you have been sent by God to Earth for a unique reason as well, Yaakov.
Do you have an M on your phone?
You know who else believes that? Exactly. You know who else believes that? Hang on, Danny. You know who else believes it? As I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, none other than Rabbi Mendy Menachem Schneerson.
Well, what is he?
The question, Zach, you think that any Gentile could be sent to Earth for a reason?
I meant
I
think that, not who is he.
And if you do think so,
His face is
why do
posted
you
on the highway all over Israel.
Why do you call women who are not Jewish shiksas? Why do you demean them with these words?
It's funny. It's funny.
It's a label.
It means she's impure, doesn't it?
It originally did. I think it.
So it's definitely not.
As I understand it, look, Yaakov and Mixet, but doesn't a shiksa just mean a non-Jewish anything?
Yeah, but it had a pejorative connotation.
What is
it? It doesn't really have to. I mean, like it has kind of like evils and they use it on like shiksalo.
It's non-Jewish woman dating a Jewish object.
Zach, what do you think Menachem Schneerson would say about real estate law, military law?
Right. No, that's the Simon question.
I don't know. I think that he says, serve your purpose and shine your light in the world.
I mean, everything is gridded. Everything is mapped off. And, when you lose in battle and you lose the war, there are grid adjustments that must be made. So, I mean, what's the moral relativism there, Simon? Can we get a ruling? Dr. Simon, please? The question deals with real estate law and military law. Can we get some type of expansion here?
Wait, hold on. Let Issa talk to me.
No, I was just asserting. I was agreeing with her that she's fake princess. Yeah. So, but I was agreeing with her.
Oh, I thought you meant it was a fake princess.
No, she is fake princess. Yeah, but I was agreeing with her.
Oh, okay. So it's not the real princess?
No, she's not the real princess.
No, but you made a good point. Look, if you want to know what the Rebbe Schneerson would say about real estate law, I think that he would say, he who stands on real estate law doesn't stand firm.
Wow.
He who tries to shine dims his own real estate law.
Wow.
He who defines real estate law cannot know who he really is.
Wow.
If you want to live in accordance with the Rebbe Menachem Schneerson, just do your work.
Every single time you try.
And how do you say his name?
Are you in the Moshiach camp, Zach?
Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Moshiach, yeah, we want Moshiach now.
No. Is he the Moshiach? Are you in that camp?
I was reading from the Gavne Cheng.
Of course.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. That was fantastic.
Own real estate are the most righteous. The real estate owners? No, the Kohanes, right? You guys can't have real estate, right?
Hold on. We have Tunde, a good friend. Come on up, Tunde.
Before enlightenment, practice real estate law. After enlightenment, practice real estate law.
That's fucking genius.
To learn real estate law.
Dude, I'm dying here. Just keep going, Zach. And loud mic anybody who interrupts you. This is brilliant.
Zach is sharing the ancient wisdom of studying real estate law.
Invest in real estate. They don't make it anymore.
Those who know real estate law do not talk about real estate law. Those that talk about real estate law do not know real estate law.
looking. This morning, I woke up too early and I started going through my phone and started scrolling on Nora's Twitter, and she was going completely nuts on the 3rd, on the 4th, and on the 5th of February, and she attacked these people on the 6th. So I was trying to put the dots together. And I was going through her content and through everything that she was posting. And I gotta tell you that she gives away vibes of a suicidal terrorist, dude. Like, the way, I mean, like, the videos she was posting, like that hotel room that probably you paid for her in New York. And she has all these Qurans and books and whatever, and she has got, like, this Arab music behind. And she's crying and yelling in the video and showing you, because she said that she was showing you some notes, and these notes have got, it's like a journal from a time in when she was locked up. It seemed like she was locked up at a hospital because I was paying attention to the notes, and she had there like a lot of names and phone numbers, and she was showing all of them in camera, and she was saying that that video was for you, and that it was meant for you to see that video. And then she starts crying and yelling, and well, in this notebook, she's talking about how, well, she feels sad or how people have betrayed her. There are other times when she's talking about angry sex and how she wants for this guy that she is imagining to come fuck her and fuck her brains out and fuck her mind, and she uses like very crude language. And then she leaves that notebook and she walks towards her desk, and there is a bunch of dollars, like all cash next to all the Quran books, and she starts she focuses the camera on her license. She tries to cover the license, but she didn't realize that for 1 second the whole license was completely available and you could actually screenshot it. I did. And so you could see all the details, of her.
Who is this that you're talking
Hold on, let me finish. It's Nora. And then she goes and points the camera to her suitcase, the same suitcase that she's carrying in the building where she's going to go see you in New York. And that same suitcase is open, and she has got like a lot of trash. It's got like stuffed animals and like dirty clothes, and everything's like a mess inside of that bag. And she actually, oh my god, it's on Twitter, and it looks like she's like a homeless person. And then she goes towards the toilet and she points at the mirror, and she's like covered with, I don't know if it's a bed sheet or a towel, and she just covers her face and starts crying in front of the mirror. And falls on the floor. And then she stands up again and enters the bathroom, and it's just like a crazy video.
Where
And
did they
so
find this?
in Twitter.
I know, but what do you mean? I just
That's what I
opened.
found. Stop interrupting, dude. Anyway, so she is going crazy. You're driving me crazy. You have interrupted me like 4 times back. Are you?
I'm listening to your story actively.
And then she would wait, and then you cannot go to bad practice to interrupt a person 4 fucking times.
I'm sorry.
You will be. Anyway. Yeah, this is what you do. You just make people lose the train of thought. And
I remember what you were talking about. You were saying, you were describing the video. You're basically done.
No, I am not done, because I was going to talk about all the other content that I saw in
Oh my gosh.
See how it is increasing, from the 3rd that she starts. I believe that's when she decided to travel to you. And yeah, on the 3rd she starts, and it starts increasing in intensity. The whole 4th of February, she is the whole day like putting a lot of thoughts on Twitter, and then she puts like a lot of prayers. And on the 5th, the last few posts she repeated the same prayer like 10
responsibility because you seem to know everything about her. It
No,
sounds like something.
it's her Twitter. It's public.
Well,
And your
can you
name
tell me
is
her,
everywhere.
can you tell me her Twitter username?
I don't know. I think it's Nora Pandora. Just Google Nora Pandora.
Well, Diego, sounds like you may have some personal news to report soon.
I don't know, if something happens, if she does something terrible, are you ready to report her? Are you ready to actually, I don't know, take responsibility and provide any evidence that you might
Yeah, I
have?
mean, are you going to help her or throw her under the bus? Come on. We need to know what to tell the cops.
Because she has all the symptoms of becoming someone seriously dangerous.
This is not the story you told yesterday. Yesterday you said she was threatening you.
Oh yeah,
I found it very coincidental.
No. It's not that I am changing any stories. There is one post where she is threatening me in one of the paragraphs. And I told you that if she wanted to also have issues in Switzerland, I mean, she's welcome to do so, you know. I'm not going to just sit back, you know, and do nothing. I mean, she's clearly crazy. So I'm not changing any story. I'm adding to the story. So stop evading stuff and stop trying to redirect things when I'm asking you a direct question.
Is it a serious question? Did anybody else
It is
think
a
this
very
is a serious question?
Yeah, it is a very serious question.
Well, you know, I'm not. How about this? I'm not going to take your word for the whole story that you just told.
You can go to her public Twitter and.
I'm watching the video now. I'm loving it.
Here's the question, Diego.
I found it.
Cop shows up, guy with a gun. He's got his partner with him. Knocks on the door. Starts asking you some questions about Nora. Are you going to play this weird evasive bullshit game as the guy has a taser? Are you going to assist her in her evil exploits, or are you going to throw her under the bus because the cops are telling you to? Please, just let us know.
Who sent the cops in this scenario?
Well, she's linking you everywhere to her story. So don't be surprised if they ever link you to her if she does something crazy. Crazier than what she already did.
I think you can continue with the evasive bullshit if a cop comes.
Exactly.
Except, I thought you would have advised me not to speak without you present.
I know, but you gave an evasive bullshit answer. You said, who sent the cops?
I just want to understand if you guys been trying to sabotage Nora, me, everybody that's pro-Palestine. I want to know if it's you guys have like
So listen, don't turn this into a the Jews will do this to us, because it has nothing to do with any Jew in the world. You guys are doing this yourselves. Nora is going crazy herself. She is taking all these actions that are clearly very bad decisions that are putting herself and others in danger, and she's involving you in every step of the way. So if anything happens, it's not because a Jew told on you. It's because she actually is a crazy and a dangerous person, and she is getting you involved. So how are you going to handle that? Are you ready to handle that? Is the question.
This is Mixed where you say, as your attorney, I advise you not to answer any questions.
Diego, have you seen the video that he's just referring to?
They have too much
No, I haven't.
empathy for you to Nora. They
Well,
would
I
advise
just
you
saw
to
it.
please.
And there are several videos. There is
Yeah, I don't know why you screamed at me when Brian just asked the same question that I did.
There is a part where there is like this, how do you say, recipient, like a plastic recipient in the outside of her house, and she looks at a label that is in the container, and it says "Made in Israel," and the comments she puts in that post is, "They are everywhere. They are even in our houses." It's just crazy. It's a fucking red plastic container that says Israel.
I put the video at the top, Brian.
They are everywhere. They are.
Diego, I think that you should watch this video before commenting further, respectfully, because, I mean, as a person, a very sensitive person, faggot, it hurts me to watch this, because Issa's right. This is clearly a person in a lot of pain. I don't think that excuses any sort of hateful rhetoric that somebody may espouse. Yesterday, you guys were talking about what constitutes a dangerous threat. I think that being insane is no excuse for making dangerous or illegal threats. But I think that if this is somebody who is your friend, like, let me put it this way. If I made a video like the one that I just pinned to the top of the shit, if I was the one who made this video, Diego, I would really want you to watch it. If I were Nora.
Diego, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man, but if, you know, I don't know you personally, but if I were you, and this is not like, you know, I'm just telling you, I would never comment on this, you know, ever in your life if I were you. Because when you look at that post above and you actually watch this video, and I just basically went through the X account, which is public. Now there is a private account, but I would definitely try to cut all communication and make as much distance as humanly possible from this situation. In fact, I would even delete your X account. I would delete your X account if I were you. I would delete that shit quick. Because not only can you be subject to possible, you know, investigations or something, but basically, like, getting as far away from this chick as humanly fucking possible. It is definitely suicide terrorism alert. You wait till you see that shit. She's definitely at that level. Yeah, she's that far out.
There's another photo where she's talking to her dead husband, which, by the way, it's not her husband. They were engaged. They never been married, but she refers to him as her husband. But she is referring to him, and she's like talking to him like, oh yeah, well, it's so bad that you're gone, but I will be too soon, or something along those lines. I'm like, whoa, and I sent you that screenshot, and it's like, that sounds super suicidal, or maybe it's not like she's going to just like take her life or something. She's definitely ready to lose her life and not mattering, you know? And so
Diego, it's very sad, man.
That's going through her brain, she has a very high risk of doing some crazy shit.
It's very sad, you know. It is very sad. You know, what can you do? I mean, but Diego, yeah, I would be, you know, distancing myself from that. I mean, the fact that it's actually very well organized, surprisingly. I mean, did you look at the link above? Anybody else? Like, it's surprisingly, you know, somewhat well organized. Maybe not coherent, but she has made it. Did you read this? Conceptisto Classico. This video I am sharing is for your eyes only. But you know people like to pry on that which isn't their business. I love you. Holy shit! That's a goodbye message, Diego. That's a I'm going away, Diego message. Jesus Christ, you dodged a bullet. Holy shit.
She is going through this book that has a lot of details, a lot of names, a lot of phone numbers, a lot of information about her, a lot of very intimate details from her. She's like, it's like a farewell message. Like, if you go through every single, and I had a lot of time this morning, so I went through the 3 full days, and it took me a long time. I got hooked into it, because my brain was putting dots together. Maybe they are the wrong dots put together, but it was making sense. But
oh my gosh, this is insane.
The 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and then on the 6th, she goes crazy on a Jew. And so, I don't know, might be coincidence, or it's just a modus operandi, you know? But definitely, every single post, if you go through them, all of them sound like she is trying to leave some information behind. They're all like a farewell thing. It's creepy vibes, really.
Whoa, this actually is her suicide letter. And thank God she didn't, you know, get killed. I mean,
yeah, you're reading it. You can read. I mean, she recorded it so that you can read every page if you want to.
And the video, yeah, with the driver's license, this was it. This was her goodbye message to the world.
All I did was ask for the video. Issa screamed for me, but it's okay.
This was her.
More like a live journal, you know, like from back in the day, everyone had a live journal.
He was from this journal this journal is from 2021. It sounds like if you pay attention to what she has.
Oh my gosh.
It talks about how she was living while she was being held somewhere, and she talks about the medications, and she talks about how her family thinks that she's crazy, and she wishes that was not the case, and she talks about the guy that died.
Never comment on this ever. She's so responsible.
And a lot of this kind of stuff, and when she had sex, and when she was like.
So you read the whole thing?
Yeah, I read probably like half of it because I didn't have the patience.
So you're crazy too.
No. Did you watch the video? I just watched her crying in the mirror with the sheet wrapped around her after she videotaped her driver's license.
I'm just a curious person, and I think this person is.
Issa, I couldn't even believe when you were actually describing the video. I was like, this can't be real. Like, she's making this up, and I couldn't believe it. No, I just thought you were like doing a performative dramatization and like doing creative wordplay, like roasting Diego.
Issa told a very funny joke today.
Yeah, I thought you were technically roasting Diego with like a story. See, that's how I like to wordplay here. So when I actually watched this horrifically sad, tragic video, like, this is very sad,
It's like a scene from a movie.
So I guess the real question is Diego, are you embarrassed, or do you have any, self-reflection? Do you have any guilt? Are you just saddened by the whole thing? Like, how do you feel about it?
He hasn't even seen the video, even though she tagged him in it.
You have to watch the video, Diego, and you have to read what she wrote because she loves you. I mean, she says, "I love you." In her suicide post where she's about to, meet her death, she loves you. How do you feel, Diego?
She says, Diego, sincerely yours, your biggest fan. This is Stan.
John, the jokes you're making, man, are not good karma.
Believe me, I'm sitting here making a documentary. You're the one who had expansive conversations with her and maybe even had real love affair with her. Who knows? I mean, I'm actually shooting a documentary film here. My conscience and my karma is perfectly fine in my soul. I feel great. How do you feel? That's what I'm asking you. Don't deflect, reflect.
Your attitude is one of inhumanity.
I'm a filmmaker, and I think you love film, so maybe one day you'll watch the film and reflect and not deflect. It's called personal responsibility, Dr. Dandruff. You got to use Head and Shoulders to get out from underneath that dandruff problem.
For the actual things that are being uncovered, they are being outraged because they actually looked into their files. You're acting like that boyfriend that when you tell them, oh, look, I caught you cheating on me, and he says, oh, but why are you looking into my stuff? And tries to deflect from the fact that he is actually a cheater, and he is offended by the fact that he got caught. You're a gaslighter, and that's what you're doing. You're deflecting from the whole point that this woman is a dangerous one. This is not her first rodeo. She has been in jail in the past. This is not the first time that she has been arrested. She is putting a lot of very creepy stuff on the internet. She's linking everything to you because she's in love with you, and we're not making fun of it. I am actually asking you. And this is not the first time I addressed this with you. I have been telling you a lot of stuff privately for you to wake up. And even when you started talking to her months ago, I told you, be careful. And you didn't listen. You told her all your information. You told her your real name. You told her where you live. You told her everything about you. And now you're doing that. And I told you because I cared about you and I knew what she was. So I'm serious when I'm asking you, are you ready to take responsibility of this? Or, I don't know, just run away, dude. Like, really, like what Edmond is saying, just disappear, Delete your ex account and cut any contact with her because I don't think that you would want to be dragged into some That's what she is doing. And it's creepy shit. So stop trying to make everyone feel guilty because we're pointing out the evidence stuff. And I don't know, maybe the person you should be holding accountable is her, not everyone else. She's the crazy one.
Lisa, do you think that
What?
going through someone's 3 days worth of someone's postings is normal, or is it vindictive, or are you looking for something?
Also, I am the bad person when she is
I'm
the
asking you a
one
question.
actually hurting people.
Why are you asking?
I dedicated some time to it today. And so what? I wasted probably two hours of my life. I waste more with you here in Clubhouse. So what?
What is going on?
I get to
I know
choose.
BE/Edmonds is doxing you right now. So.
It doesn't matter. We all know who BE is, though, like, you're not telling us anything new. I decide how I spend my time and how I waste it. All of the days I have chosen to waste it with you here in Clubhouse. So I don't see what's the problem. Deciding to waste it today, 2 hours reading at her timeline, which is public, and actually it's a very interesting one. It's like a horror story.
Better than those that are spending their time here for months just like defaming Jews, some of them even attacking Jews, you know.
Exactly. How you spend your time is your responsibility, and I take responsibility. I wasted 2-3 hours of my morning today. I woke up at 5 a.m. So from 5 till 8, I was completely immersed in her timeline, and it was freaking interesting.
You know, Diego, one time I was at Hermosa Beach and there was this hippie looking at the sunset, and he was talking about how prisons are filled with crimes of passion, you know, Andy Dufresne type of thing. You know, I don't know. It's femme fatales. You mix sex, you know, with Palestinian fried chicken. I don't know. I mean, you do you, but like, you know, I hope you get out from underneath that dandruff problem. It's called Head and Shoulders. You know, try it daily. Don't worry about losing the hair follicles because it's better to be bald than to be a schmuck.
I don't know, man. On one hand, she says she cares about me, and on the other hand, she's saying that she wastes time with me on this app.
You don't have to answer to us. You don't have to answer to us. Just think about it. Go to her timeline. Invest. I would say to you, it would actually be necessary to invest these couple of hours that I wasted in my morning. For you, it's almost a must to go and read that timeline because she mentions you.
Yeah, over and over again. This is what she writes. She writes, Tarek Dabag raped me when I was a virgin when I was 23 in Tampa. I believe in the year 2008 through 2010. I can't recall anymore. Next post. I love you, Diego de la Vega.
Oh, that is the post where she, if you go to the very last paragraph, that's where she threatens me. But
Sometime last year.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Issa, why are we supposed to believe that you looked at this at 5 a.m. today when you had found that already, the supposed threat? Why should anyone believe that you didn't read this 2 weeks ago?
I found about it yesterday.
Sometime last year, she cursed my deceased father. I have most of it recorded, and one person has access to most of this reality, and it's Conceptista Classico.
This is ridiculous. Yesterday she's like, oh, maybe you found about this 2 weeks ago, and you were the one getting her in trouble.
I am in love with a Catholic man now, and am converting to Catholicism, though I do think Islam is the ultimate truth.
Hold on, Edmund. What kind of power do you think I have to get into her brain and make her go and attack a Jew, dude? I didn't do that. She did that herself. And
Oh
if
my
anything,
gosh.
she went to New York for you. You were the one asking her to come to your city. mean, I found about this yesterday. Somebody sent me a link, and I looked at it, and I was like, whoa. And actually, I mean, if you actually wanted to say that I was the one creating her issue, like I have proof, you know, that it was sent to me yesterday, and I reacted as I was reading it. So I mean, dude, I don't know. The dubious person here, it's not me. I have a very very clean record. Never ever have I ever done anything wrong. It's not me, the one with the criminal record. It seems like other people in this room are the ones with the criminal record, and it's definitely not me. And so you trying to project the way that you live your life or that your girlfriend lives your life on others, I mean, you can try.
Just to Lisa's point, he's a peaceful woman, and if she would have found this out last week, we would have been last week.
If I had found out last week, they would have all known last week.
You know, Diego, you can actually go to Nora's YouTube and view her father singing. That could have been your future father-in-law, man. I mean, listen, dude, you just gotta basically distance yourself from this as much as possible, because if you do look at that X account, it's intense and it is really directed towards you. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like we are our communication. So in any reflection, like you've spent hours and hours, days, weeks, months with her, like, you know, I mean, did you not detect that perhaps she was a femme fatale? Because this is a suicide goodbye message by her. It's intense.
I don't know if it's not necessarily a suicide, Edmund, but it almost feels like somebody that...
No, that video is her final art piece.
It feels like somebody that doesn't care anymore about their life, and they're getting ready to go all in on something, you know? Whether it is a dangerous mission or a suicidal mission, whatever it is, they know that something wrong might happen to them, and she's getting prepared for it. That's the vibe that the whole thing gives.
Well, the good news is nobody here got killed. Nobody here got injured. I mean, she's facing legal repercussions, and maybe, you know, she'll be permanently hospitalized. But thank God she didn't hurt anybody. So, you know, I mean, if somebody busted a nut and nobody got murdered, I mean, well, we've got, you know, the makings of a great documentary, and you can all go to scammovie.com to see the full unedited version of the Diego La Nora Femme Fatale 2025 world premiere. This is Nora's video of her father singing Quran. It's very sad. Diego, you should really read it. It'll probably break your heart. She basically wrote you a fucking movie script, Diego. You love movies. Maybe you could produce the movie about your life.
I just watched that video, the 15-minute one.
You love movies. Maybe you can produce the movie about your life.
People, men will not listen to women singing. Only men singing. Does Islam sort of have that same notion? Or Minhag?
I just find it amazing that, like, Lifetime might buy this story. Like, Diego could actually produce a movie and sell it to Lifetime about how he met, you know, an Islamic jihadist. A neo-Nazi and an Islamic jihadist fall in love in a social audio chat app.
Listen, I don't care what was happening there, you know, like, I know that for you, I was scrolling, and this is just fun. You know, like, I doubt that he ever took her seriously, but the matter of the fact is that he got involved into some sort of dynamic. I'm not saying that it was sexual or anything. I want to believe that he didn't get to a point of actually compromise, you know, like that part. But yeah, definitely, I mean, he developed a close relationship, a close dynamic with her, and she knows everything. Well, I don't know how much she knows about Diego. I know that she knows his name. I know that she knows about his family, and I know that she knows where he works. So
Did you see Diogenes Spooner messaged her on X and said, "Why did you leave me out of your post, bitch?" Like, Diogenes is fucking hilarious. But yeah, if you guys haven't looked at this X post, like, I had no idea there was this whole additional amount of information, and it is very sad. I may be making light and joking and roasting, but this is all very tragic for her as a person. You know, I mean, it does look like she's in tremendous pain. It's very sad, and you know, but there are.
But the thing is, I don't care. Like, I'm glad she's going through that. Like, there's some people, if you act like this, good.
No. Mental illness, Simon, is nothing to, like, let's have
No, I mean, the good thing is she didn't hurt anybody and she's been captured. There's good news. There might be good news at the end of the tunnel for her.
I misunderstood you, Simon.
I'm referring to if you say garbage things and you're a garbage.
Simon, she is mentally ill. If you actually want to find out what she is about, go to that post.
Yeah, watch the video.
Read what she's talking about.
Have you ever met the same anti-Semite?
No.
Well,
Yet they have the same disease.
Listen, if you're just a nice anti-Semite, but you're still essentially platforming hate, you're just still part of the problem. Hate is definitely the problem, and this is what I was arguing with about Simon. Is you can just ascribe a value to the words that people are using and know whether it's good or bad.
And yeah,
Without excusing her anti-Semitism or linking her past to her anti-Semitism, she has been through some shit.
yeah, she has. But that's the thing. I mean, and probably all of this because we were talking about it yesterday in a private chat with Aya, and she was right. She's like, well, all of this, she said, all of this is influence of the ideology, is influence of Islam religion. Islam destroys you inside, you know, like she was narrating, Nora was narrating.
It's a mind virus.
Stuff that happened to her when she was younger and how she was, they would hit her or how they grabbed her by the hair like her mom. And, you know, like, so it must have been a difficult way of growing up. And all of that, of course, fucks you up. And then you try to look for love, you know, and they tell you that the only way to look for love is in the Quran and in the religion. And so it's like a spiral that you get in. And this ideology, and I will never be tired to say it, it's like it traps you. It's like a cult. And so, again, she's an adult. She knows what she does. She has made bad decisions. But ultimately, all of these has a source.